All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first of what I hope is many streams in the Satoshiverse. Today we're here to give all of our community members a look at a incredibly early version of our prototyping, and just to kind of give a background on some of the process of game development and speak to some of the things that we're working on, and then that could inform potentially some other questions that you guys have, and may or may not be able to answer them today on the stream. We're just getting this set up. We'll get somebody in here, I think, later on, a second mod who can collect questions. This will be recorded. But yeah, let's get this show on the road. So just to start, just to give a background in game development, things always start with an idea, right? You take this kind of general idea and you bring it into some sort of documentation. It's called the GDD, and just kind of start working on what is the game that you're going to create. So the Satoshiverse is a 3D, third-person, action RPG-ish roguelike type game. Gonna run through some just again early spaces here. Working on camera angles for combat. These animations are already old animations. We're working on some new animations. They just haven't been implemented yet. New weapons, enemy AI. The general combat system, which is a complex thing where you need to set up all the different animations. Add sprinting. We're gonna have rolling. I'll give you a peek at something that we have now that we're probably going to remove. It's an early version of it. Doesn't look great, but this hop, we're going to add a dash. So things are just always, at this stage, they're in progress. You're testing things out to see how it feels, to see, is this space big enough to house the combat that we're in? Do we need to, widen it up? Speaking to that, we have many different sizes of spaces. So, but those are all things that you need to be mindful of as you're playing your game. So this will be a game where you start off, at the beginning of a run, and you're trying to get, basically work your way through some enemies. We'll come up on one right now. We don't have a ton in the game. We're going to get some, by the next time we do a stream, this will be much further along. We're basically in the stage where we've gone from documenting and planning and a lot of the things that need to be done early on to working now through prioritizing and implementing all those things, and creating a user interface, determining what all of the abilities will be, and even what you see on the screen here, totally temporary. Again, like I said, super early. But we just figured that you guys would enjoy being a part of this process, and that that we trust, that you understand that early things like this, every game that's created, whether it's a AAA game, an indie game, you always go through those initial phases of it just being not good. You can't just snap your fingers and everything's good right away, right? It's all about layers. It's all about setting up your systems, having scripts in place. It's that call out to the artwork. We have a lot of VFX that we're working on right now that aren't in the game. Character NPCs. Here's a pizza joint that we have. This could be something here, like some sort of interaction. We're gonna have some puzzle games, some hacking. Try to give you some different elements of gameplay as you race through here, trying to clear it of enemies. I will say right now it's very empty. There's not a lot going on, so this is more of a taking you through kind of visually with an actual character that is holding an actual weapon. But you'll see now, what this animation looks like. A couple weeks from now, we'll have some updates. You'll see how totally different that is. You just kind of continue to iterate and polish and make sure that the speeds of the animations in the beginning and the end, you just go through all these really, really minute changes to make it eventually actually a fun experience. We're working on music and sound, our own sounds and our own soundtrack. Definitely we'll have many more enemies actually acting in a totally different way. This is just the system of dropping an enemy into the space, right? So that you can set up a node to have something to engage with where they attack you. But again, that's super basic. Our doors will open. We already have spaces where they're opening up. We just haven't hooked it into this prototype yet. Prototype is kind of taking a lot of these things that we've been working on and pulling them together. How do we get down there? Let's see. But like even just sprint. We finally got the sprint in. I like that. Gotta run around. Sprinting and rolling with our Legionnaires. We're working on, hopefully soon you'll be able to see our shield system. I really like what the guys are showing, what the guys are doing there aesthetically, and then, it'll be a major feature for the defensive side of combat. Yeah, right now there's no flinching, there's no shields, this is, again, like I said, super basic, but wanted to show you something. Let's see, what else can we speak to? So, working on, the specifics of our item system, crafting, the materials, a lot of our lore. A lot of the lore is going to speak to some of the enemies that you'll be seeing. Right now we're fighting against a first version of one of our Alpha Troopers or one of our DOF, early DOF troopers. But we're going to have some other enemies. I don't think I can speak to them just now, but it'll be totally different theme. And we'll have different levels with different themes, and it's not just going to be fighting the DOF in this space. We'll have some variety here. Work towards making that experience fresh and unique as you continue to play through it, and grind your character up and get some more weapons, get some more items, get some new abilities. Have some permanent upgrades versus some temporary power-ups that you get along the way. All right, where else can we go here? There's a train station somewhere. Maybe this might already have some stuff coming in generatively, so we can reset. See if we can find some new stuff to spawn. No promises. That may not be true. They may just have these. They may have swapped some out. We have, like I said, many different modules and themes. So what I can speak to here is how this all works. Like, what am I doing? What am I running around in? So let's walk you through this early user experience of like what this space that I'm in means. So we're gonna. You'll take place kind of before, and again, there's some things that I don't want to reveal just yet. I want to save it for the right time. But effectively, you're going to be sending an avatar into combat to help Satoshi fight against this Alpha Corporation, and it's an oligarchy that's oppressing the people. And your goal is to fight your way through this city, the outskirts, and clear this city, and eventually clear some other cities. But right now we're working on this first kind of major big city experience, which will entail you entering into this right here that we're looking at. This is one module. Like if you just look at the edge for now, you can see like there's this pink edge. So this module is one thematic module. This is made up of two pieces here, for example. But then this module over here is a separate module. And there's going to be some different pieces of these modules. This whole open area that you see right here, how you can see, underneath the world, that's all just early stuff. These will be filled in with actual, buildings and just things to make it feel more alive. This is, like I said, early. This is another, module over there. So as it is right now, we have we're working on many, many, many different modules to kind of keep what you're working through fresh. One level, which would be something that you would potentially fight through fairly quickly. One level would consist of 1 to 3 packs of enemies. You will run into this room and you'll find a pack and clear that room. Get some loot, find some treasure, or other information that'll help you along your way, and try to get to the end of this level. Which that's what I'm trying to find. Oh, they do have the subway over there, but you're working your way through these modules that are randomly put together, right? So now I'm in another module. So this feels seamless right here, but this is an actual connection of pieces that could be totally different. And then the same here, right? Like right now, if I walk off this edge, I'm just going to fall into nothingness. And so we'll have the intelligence to say this is up against an edge and there's not another module next to it, so we'll block it off. But this, potentially these rooms can connect to each other. And let's see. Just want to wander around a bit more with you guys. All right, so, there we go. But again, early, working through all of this. Oh no, it's not the train station. It's the ATM that I saw before. Anyways, let's see. Let's do a restart. Do a little more fighting. And we'll, be looking at the camera, making sure your camera doesn't get occluded, and just so many things that we're working on to make the experience great. So, and we want to look to you guys for feedback as well. At some point, we'd love to get your feedback, and we'll have a way to get that. There it is. So like I said, the doors are not active right now, but these spaces will be much easier to traverse. It's still early, the lighting's not baked in correctly, visual effects, it's just a lot of early layers of the system that we'll continue to iterate on more and more and more. I can't get to that guy. Can he get to me? I guess he can. So hopefully you guys understand. Like I said early on in the process, things are not going to look smooth. Usually if you see something really early that looks like a finished game, it's delivered to you via a video. So it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, to make that look like you have some finished game, but really you're just setting something up. This is not a smoke and mirrors piece. This is a, be transparent with our community and show our community what we're working on, and just to let you guys kind of be involved from an early level, from an early point in the process. So we hope to hear you jumping in on Discord and just telling us what you think, asking maybe for something. We can kind of let you know where we are in the process for something that we might be implementing in the coming weeks that you can be looking forward to. But yeah, it feels good to finally be running around someplace. It's starting to become real. So we'll have some cityscapes here, be able to kind of look off into the distance and, some different versions of whatever that is, of that theme, depending on the theme you're in. Also, it's this early block out, so this is what it looks like before the actual textures start going down. So, you block it out, 3D modeling. This is just a blocked out partition of some sort. This is a blocked out shipping container, right? The final shipping container is actually going to have some textures and colors and, go through some processing. I don't want to jump off. I don't want to break it. But yeah, this will come more and more to life with many, many more spaces to run through. So what else can we talk about? Let's see. Yeah, so I'm asking, see if anybody can, at least through Discord. I don't know, like I said, this is our first week doing this. So there may be some settings that I need to set up for you guys to be able to speak and chat. Because I don't see any chat going on right now. I don't know how many people are on the stream. But if you are watching this and you have some questions, I would say Discord is probably the place to go. Feel free to jump in there and ask away. I'm actually I'll put it up on my screen too. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm also in Discord. In the screen. Ask me any questions, and I will answer what I can. So yeah, obviously we don't have a ton to go through. We don't have the ability system in. We don't have the shield system in. This cool device. I love this device that these guys created on the backs of our Legionnaires. It's this magnetic, not only does it house... Can I do a sheath? No, the sheath doesn't work. Yeah, not implemented. But not only does it house your weapon, but it serves, the power core for your shield. Your shield regeneration, how powerful your shield is, how many layers of the shield you have. There's a really cool visual effect that the guys have applied to the different layers of your shield, as you're getting hit more and more, and when your shield gets broken and regenerating your shield. So I feel like the next time we do this, that'll be in there and you'll be able to see that. We'll have some new combat animation, hopefully some VFX, for sure some new levels. We did have our loop in here to be able to kind of clear a level and go to the next level, but I think either I'm lost or we just removed that for now. Let's see if we can find it. Maybe I am lost. Let's keep exploring. Exploring and defeating these wicked defenders of Fiat. Can't wait to show you some of our music that we've been working on as well. All right. Maybe we'll find it. Could be over here. Oh, I go under. a door that needs to open that's not open right now. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. No. Can we get through here? Well, no. If I did, I'd be getting through to nothing. So over there. We're going to have a mini map. We're going to have a radar, all kinds of tech. Satoshi's going to be hooking you up with some tech, some of which will be, taking advantage of the blockchain. Yeah, I don't know if I can get over there. All right. Well, I don't see any questions. So we can cut this short if nobody has any questions. Yeah, I think just some stuff's not connected yet, so I can't run over there. But hope you like this early look. Can I see what's in there? There we go. Ooh, this might be it. Let's see. Looks amazing. Are these the details we can expect in final rendition? Looks sick. It will be much better than this. This is early, like I said, so it'll be a more polished experience, smoother animations, VFX added, obviously balanced, and this is just some early stuff, like I mentioned. Here. Yep, I need to go down there. And a lot of these places look the same because, like I said, we've only hooked up a couple modules right now. But when the time comes, we're going to have all kinds of different modules. So it'll be, it'll feel like you're just running further and further and deeper into the city. Yeah, no, most developers would not show you their game this early. They'd be afraid of, well, that doesn't look good. I mean, because nothing looks good this early, right? Like I said, you can't snap your fingers and everything's done. You need to do the work. Like, you need to just keep pushing and setting your priorities and your dates and work. What does the team all need to be working on together? The engineers working, have dependencies to the designers and the artists, and so we all have our tasks for the week, and we meet up and talk about what our dependencies are and what we're going to implement next, and just go through our plan and get things done. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm lost in here. It's a big maze right now. But the goal is for that will not be the gameplay. It's definitely going to be more of a race through the game, fast combat, get in with an enemy and engage. It's not meant to be too much like slow down and explore. You could have some elements of that if we have maybe some hidden treasure caches or puzzles that you could find. But the intent is for this to be you're delving deeper and deeper and deeper into this city, and clearing these different nodes of enemies. Come up against mini bosses, and the intent as well. You might want to change up your weapon, your abilities. Each time you do a run, you'll have a run that would be. Our target is, I think the sweet spot's probably maximum, somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on how deep you're going and like how powerful you are and stuff like that. But I would say a sweet spot is, 45 minutes to an hour. And, and at some point you're going to die, especially early on. There's just no way you're going to beat the game starting at level 1, being at character level 1, and getting to the end. So you can't look at this as a traditional RPG. It's a hybrid RPG roguelike. You'll get in, defeat some enemies, get some experience, find some items, empower yourself a little bit when you level up, and get some new ability, choose that ability, go in on that run. You choose your weapon, choose your fighting style, stuff like that. Get in as far as you can until you die. Like, you're just going to reach a point where there'll be a limit to how far you can get based on your power level, and you're just going to push and you'll die, and then you're going to start all over again. But when you start all over again, everything that you did through that previous run, right? Like, you're adding some extra layer of power, so you go back in, maybe you make some different choices. At the end of clearing the level, you're also going to get, offered some power-ups, temporarily for that run. So you'll have this kind of permanent empowerment to help you to get further and further into the game, and then this temporary empowerment to, that's more like player choice within the moment, and will basically be upgrading things that you bring to the fight at that time. So, don't think of it as, I'm going to have a collection of 5 weapons in my backpack, and as I'm running through this game, I'm going to be pulling out each weapon differently. And we really want to think of this differently, because it being a play-to-earn game, it being a blockchain game, so a game where people are going to want to collect and value the NFTs that drop in here, right? Beyond the materials, you're going to have weapons, blueprints for weapons, things like that. And we're really, really working to make it so that none of those things are obsolete. There will be a use for them for different people at different parts of their progression. So you might have some powerful weapon early on that maybe is required to get a more powerful weapon later on. If it's an NFT, you could hang on to it and use it to upgrade something later, or maybe you become so powerful you get a better weapon, and now that weapon isn't as good for you in that moment. But since weapons will be attached to your character, you could use that weapon on other runs with other avatars, or you could sell that weapon on the open market, and somebody who's at that level and maybe really wants that weapon to help get them power through a little bit easier, or whatever it is in that at that character level, they may buy it for that reason. Or you sell it, put it on the market because somebody that's further than you but needs that weapon, like as a material to upgrade another weapon or whatever it is, they may have it for that reason. So we're trying to give multiple uses for the different NFTs in the game, the different types of materials and components and weapons and shield components and things like that in the game, to never be obsolete, to be able to, you're going to be able to add to them as well. You're going to have upgrades and things that are kind of like enchantments and permanent and temporary, and then there will be a whole metagame to that, to some things will be randomized, so you'll be there'll be an element of chance and like what you get, but you'll be able to there's some things you'll be able to do to still get a chance to kind of make exactly the weapon that it is you're looking for, with your resources. So many different things. All right, I'm going to look to see if there's any other questions I can answer. Let's see. Nope, not going to answer the phone. All right, let's see. I'm here trying to get info, no matter how. Josh can answer this. Oh, there we go. So we have a weapon, or we have a question. Sorry, I didn't look in a while. Can you use a different weapon? Just curious. All good if you're only doing this one. So we do. I can't right now. We had it hooked up, but we're changing our animations across the board on our weapons. We want kind of this more. We're just iterating, like I said. It's just kind of part of the process. So we happen to be in a point where we've iterated and we're changing how we slash. Like right now, for example, this guy's has this kind of overhead hit. Like, we don't like that. Like, it's just kind of it feels a bit clunky to us. It's not our favorite animation, and we're just not going to settle for that, and we're going to keep working on it. So now we have, it's kind of more like side to side slashes, stuff like that. We do have one of our swords implemented, but I don't have it in this. I don't have it in this prototype right now, so you'll have to wait and see it next time. I'm sorry. Let's see. Trying to get info matter how. Let's see. See it there. Let's see. Sorry, I was trying to. Looks awesome. All right, gonna try to do this monthly. Any other questions? Okay, no other questions. People just having fun in Discord. So we're at the half-hour point. I don't think we have enough content. I don't think it makes sense to sit here and drone on for another half hour. Eventually, these might become longer once we have more content to share, or once we get to a point where maybe more of you are aware of this and we are interacting with you a bit more and have more things that we can answer questions to. We still love getting you guys involved in some aspects of the design. We'll very likely start doing some voting again soon on some of the directions we go or something like that. That's not up to me. I'm not a lore guy. I'm a design mechanics guy. But all of those things tie together. We've got people working on lore, people working on cinematics, and like aesthetics of this. We've got making sure, like, for me, I really hope that we're going to implement some things aesthetically that you can't even see here. Maybe it's a tiny spoiler. Sorry, Nick. Some comic-y elements, though. I'll just say that. And within the VFX and within stuff that's going on here, we really don't. I don't want to have us lose a lot of what we have, on the comic side as well. So it's going to feel, it'll have this real element, but we want to add some variety in terms of like some of the VFX and visual aesthetics and stuff like that. So, I'll leave it at that. Hopefully that was you got a little bit of alpha in here or something new that you haven't seen before. And I'm looking forward to being able to show you guys, a bunch of new stuff the next time we do it. It looks like we probably will do this once a month. And then, that way you'll just kind of see our progress there as well, see how things are moving along. If you come up with any questions or things you didn't think about here, let's fire it away. We probably can make a spot here where we, list your questions and we kind of go from there. So, all right. Hope I didn't get myself in too much trouble. Love you guys. Hope to see you around. And until next time, peace out.